Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhuji Acharya Stotra Ashtashi Srimad. His Divine Grace His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Jagat Guru Seva the whole world A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhuji Acharya Stotra Ashtashi Srimad. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी जी की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today is our very great fortune that we are getting association of His Grace Rukmini Krishna Prabhuji. Although he is very busy, he has many responsibilities of Delhi NCR and many other places. Many places he goes training specifically brahmacharis, boys. So he is very expert in terms of training and educating devotees. So that's how we felt that if he comes here and extend his association for the Juhu brahmacharis, that will be very nice. Because he himself is a very ardent, sincere practitioner. And for years and years, very sincerely, he has made so many devotees with the same. Prabhuji, here also many devotees hear your lectures recorded, and specifically your japa lectures are very much inspirational to the devotees. So many devotees are very happy that you are coming and spending practically one whole week.
Yeah.
So we are very grateful that you have come, and specifically Bhagavatam, and this canto we specifically chose, second canto, which is very practical. First, the second canto starting. So Prabhuji is best fit for speaking on the first few chapters of second canto. So we want to thank Prabhuji for he has kindly come, although so many responsibilities are there. So we want to thank him by loudly chanting 3 times Haribo. Haribo! 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 Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu, and thank you all of you.
Practically all are youth preachers, almost 90%, and then others are like temple devotees.
Okay.
So that's how we could have this in English.
Okay. Good. Thank you. So I am considering myself very fortunate and I'm very, very happy with amongst all of you. For a long time I was thinking, planning to come to Juhu, have your association. So when Manshivadan Prabhu suggested me that you have to go for Juhu Bhakti Vaibhav, I immediately just said yes. We can switch on the AC, I think, and can fan. It's very hot. I am feeling hot. You can switch on. Let's see. First put on and then we'll see. If I'm not feeling comfortable, I'll let you know. You can put on. See. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagvat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So I'm very, very happy to be here amongst all of you. So I'm not a, like Prabhuji was saying, very ardent practitioner. I'm not a, you can say, a very scholarly person in Srimad Bhagavatam. But whenever I get an opportunity to teach Srimad Bhagavatam, I like to take this opportunity. Because it is said, by teaching, we learn twice, So if I am teaching, I have to read, I have to hear, I have to prepare. So that way, it gives us an opportunity to absorb our consciousness. So I beg the blessings of all of you, so that together we are here and we can understand the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very nice to see all the brahmacharis coming together and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, this is, the true brahmachari life. Brahmachari life means student life. And student life means that we have to study together, we have to do savadhyay, we have to discuss. And after understanding the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can try to apply in our lives. Once Hari Leela Prabhu, he came for our bhakti, teaching us Bhakti Vaibhav. He said very nice line. He said, Srimad Bhagavatam is for practicing and life is for preaching. It's not that life is for, no, Srimad Bhagavatam is for practicing and life is for preaching. It's not that, Srimad Bhagavatam is for living and life is for practicing. Okay? It's not that we just, Srimad Bhagavatam is for preaching and life is for living. Normally, this is the style. We preach Srimad Bhagavatam, but we lead life in our own style. But Srimad Bhagavatam is for living and life is for preaching. So we can live Srimad Bhagavatam if we understand its principles thoroughly. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master, then we can imbibe these principles in our lives. But the starting will happen by studying and hearing and discussing, trying to understand, getting inspiration to apply these principles in our lives. So this is the beginning. Okay, and it's not that the first time we have heard, we'll start practicing. No, it takes a lot of time. It may take many births also. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate. The knowledge may appear in our intelligence, but from intelligence to our heart, it may take many lifetimes. It's not so easy. It requires the mercy of the devotees, mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we are hearing, reading and chanting Srimad Bhagavatam, we should pray for the mercy that I can understand it and I can apply it. Okay. Now when Manshivadam Prabhu told me that I have to teach second canto, so I was a bit scared. Second canto means creation. And creation is not a very interesting topic. None of us have our Ishdev as universal form. Universal form is not our Ishdev. So I used to wonder also, why so much about universal form? The name of the first chapter is the first step in God realization. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Prabhupada, he names the first chapter as description of universal form. And this universal form, in the second canto, we have 10 chapters. And in the 5 chapters, 3 times universal form has been described. And in third canto also, universal form is described. And while describing universal form also, Maitreya Muni says it is very difficult to understand. And universal form is an imaginary form. So one may say, why we are discussing so much of a form which is imaginary? And Prabhupada has also forbidden us not to do any imagination in spiritual life. No mental speculation. But this universal form is an imagination. And right in the beginning, Bhagavatam declares what is the main thing it is going to discuss. Vasvam matra vastu shivadam taptre anumolanam. We are going to speak about the truth, distinguished from illusion. Truth, vastvam vastu, that which is the reality. But more in the second canto, half of the chapters are dedicated to universal form, which is imaginary. So how to understand this? Okay, why we are spending so much time in discussing universal form? And it's not so interesting. It's not so interesting. So, but once we know the importance, why we are discussing this, then it becomes very interesting also. Now you see, Mahaprabhu has said Srimad Bhagavatam is Amal Puran. Okay. Now the Amal Puran again, why this? It should be pure devotional service only. Why should we be talking about the universal form? So let's take Bhagavad Gita also. In Bhagavad Gita also we have 18 chapters, and the middle 6 chapters, the sandwich is of Bhakti Yoga. Okay. And Vishnu Thakur gives an analogy of a box, jewelry box. Okay. Inside the jewelry box, there is an outer jacket, base jacket, and middle is the main content, that is the Bhakti Yoga. And in this Bhakti Yoga, 6 chapters are there. Chapter 7 to chapter 12. Now chapter 7, what is the name of chapter 7? Bhagavad Gita? Knowledge of the Absolute. Now do we get any real knowledge about Krishna? Tribhang Sham Sundar form. No. Mata Paratnam Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. And then he says, my external energy, Paraprati, Apara Prakriti. And if you want to cross over this, Devi Shagoma Imam Maya Duratya. No real knowledge about pure devotional service. It's not there. No? Then you come to 8th chapter. What is the 8th chapter? Attaining the Absolute. Now what is attaining the Absolute? In the whole chapter, in most of the chapter is what? Discussing Yoga Mishra Bhakti. 2 paths of yoga are described. Path of light and path of darkness. There is no real pure devotional service mentioned, attaining the Absolute, going to Golok Dham. No. The small mention is there of a spiritual nature. That's all. Then we come to 9th chapter. The most confidential knowledge. The crest jewel of all the 18 chapters. Now in this 9th chapter, what are the main contents? How the confidential knowledge starts? Raj Vidya, Raj Goyam. How it starts? How Krishna introduces the most confidential knowledge? No, that's okay. That is, he's introducing the knowledge. But when the knowledge starts, from which verse? Maya Tata Midam Saram Avyakta Murti. What is that Avyakta Murti? Universal form. And then Pashyama Yoga Aishwaryam. And also again universal form is talking about. Somewhere in the end, then in 9.2 to 9.26, then 9.34, Manmanama Bhagavato, he talks about pure devotional service. But most of the 9th chapter, which is most confidential knowledge, is talking about dealing of Krishna with the external potency. And some part of dealing of Krishna with his devotees. So, the first step in realization is to understand the dealing of Krishna with the external potency. That's very, very important. And we'll see in the many purports of Srila Prabhupada in the 2nd canto and 3rd canto, Prabhupada is stressing this point. Before trying to understand, before trying to delve into the confidential topics of dealing of Krishna with the internal potency, a sadhak should understand the dealing of Krishna with external potency. It's very much essential. Any idea, any guess why it is so essential? No. Why to understand Srishti Leela before trying to understand the Ras Leela?
Because we are in the Srishti, we are part of Srishti. We are considering ourselves as a part of this also.
Yeah, because we are in this material creation, so we should understand. Yes, Prabhu?
To understand Krishna's greatness.
Yeah.
To understand Ras Leela.
Yeah, to understand the greatness of Krishna. Yes, very good. What else? Yeah.
If we do not understand the external energy of Krishna and how Krishna is great, then we take the Krishna's other leelas very cheaply.
Yeah, we'll take it very cheaply. So to appreciate Krishna's 10th canto childhood pastimes, Krishna's Ras Leela, we should be first aware of greatness of Krishna. Like before COVID, in our East of Kailash temple, we had the opening of the largest Bhagavad Gita in the creation, East of Kailash temple, Radha Parthasarthi, biggest Bhagavad Gita. So for opening of that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi came. How did he came? Yeah, he came by metro. So it's an extraordinary event. It was Prime Minister of the country is traveling by metro, public transport. So if a normal person is traveling, it's not a news. But Prime Minister is traveling in a metro, it's a news. So similarly, Krishna, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapsam, he's stealing butter, it's a news. Krishna, who is unborn, he's taking birth, it's a news. Everywhere, every second, a living entity is taking birth. No news. It's not a news. The living entity is taking birth, living entity is giving up their bodies. It's not a news. But Krishna is taking birth in this material world. He's Ajanma. He's the cause of all causes. So what is that special cause that he's appearing himself? It's a news. So until unless we understand the greatness of Krishna, we won't be able to appreciate his dealing with his internal potency. And because we are in this material creation, continuously we are being tormented by the external energy. We are facing this external stimulus. So until unless we understand the external potency of Krishna, how it works, how the three modes of nature interact, how they affect us, how this creation happened, what kind of Krishna facilities are created by the Supreme Personality, so that we can forget him also and we can remember him also. So that way, then we'll be able to understand Krishna's dealing with internal potency. So that's why Prabhupada has always stressed that we should always systematically study Srimad Bhagavatam, right, from first canto to 9th canto, and then we should go for the 10th canto. So that's how this chapter is named as first step in self-realization. Okay, you see, like Prabhupada gives a very example that train. If you are standing on the platform and right from the far distance, seeing some light is coming. So for us, the realization of train is that light, and slowly, when it comes near us, we see some form, other form. So Sat realization, Chit realization, Satchitananda realization. Then we see the whole form of the train with different compartments, with different passengers inside them, doing different kinds of activities. This is the full realization of the train. Similarly, even if someone is an impersonalist and he considers absolute truth to be impersonal, so initial realization is Brahm realization. But when he sees the material creation, so even a hardcore impersonalist will also admit this material creation is operating under some controller. It has its system, it has its laws. So there must be some controller. And if he's admitting there is some controller, at least he is having some idea, some personal form. Or the absolute truth, normally all this Nirvisheshvadi impersonalist says, absolute truth is without any potency. But if it is being controlled, that means it has some controlling potency. So the first step in God realization is admitting that the God or absolute truth has some material potencies. That's how this universe is being controlled, this creation is being controlled. So it has some, the absolute truth is a controller and is controlling with some material potencies. That means he is accepting the existence of Purusha avatars. This creation is being controlled through Purusha avatars. So it is being controlled and it is working in a systematic manner. Some controller is there. That means there is some person who is controlling. That is Purusha avatars. So that's the first step in God realization. Okay? And that is what? Universal form. And universal form is what? Universal form is in fact a form of a Garbhodakshai Vishnu. To help an person to imagine the form of the Lord. But because Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of the entire creation, so that way he is accepting the existence of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So the first step in God realization. That's why it is this. The Vishwanath Thakur's heading and Srila Prabhupada's heading, they go together. Vishwanath Thakur's heading, the first chapter is Description of Universal Form, and Srila Prabhupada is writing it as a first step in God realization. Okay? Any questions so far on the title of this chapter? No? Okay. So even in Bhagavad Gita, we see 7th, 8th and 9th, even the 9th chapter is talking of the universal form. Then 10th chapter is what? Vibhuti Yoga. So Krishna is describing all his opulences, among all the what is that difference? Vibhutis, Krishna is telling, among all the nakshatras, I am the moon, of all the animals, I am the lion. It's all vibhuti, material what we can see. And 11th chapter is named as what is? Universal form. And the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga, what is describing? Again, the qualities of a devotee by which he can attract the attention of Krishna. And the Bhakti Yoga hierarchy, different hierarchy, that's given. Only principles are given, no details of pure devotional service. Okay, so that is the first step in realization, that if we want to go for the Krishna's dealing with the internal potency, first we have to understand thoroughly Krishna's dealing with his external potency and how the external potency affects a living entity. So that is very much important to understand. Okay, clear? So now this 19th chapter of the first canto, it ends with Parikshit Maharaj asking some questions from Sukadeva Goswami. And in the second canto, it starts, invocation, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is to help us to re-establish our loving relationship with the Krishna. Okay. Now, establishing loving relationship with Krishna means Krishna has a personal form. Okay. But here it is described, O Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead. Now to imagine a personality which is all-pervading at the same time which has a form, is beyond our intelligence. Normally that which is all-pervading may not have a form. But we have to develop loving relationship with the personality who is all-pervading. And he is a person also. So gradually it will be revealed. So the first 2.1.1, Shri Shuka Ovacha Varyanesha te prashna Krito loka hitam nripa Atmavit sammataha Atmavit sammataha punsam Shotavyadishu ya para. Someone read the translation.
Sri Shukdev Goswami said, My dear king, your questions is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists.
Yeah. So the first time in the Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami starts speaking. Now before discussing what he is answering, let us first try to understand the questions. Why he is saying Varyanisha te prashna? That your questions are most glorious. Because why they are glorious? Loka hitam. They are good for everyone. Now Srimad Bhagavatam or most of our scriptures are in the question answer form. Okay. And when we say that we should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, or when we say we should take shelter of the process of hearing, and for Shravanam, who is the Acharya? Parikshit Maharaj. So let us first try to understand how Parikshit Maharaj has taken the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, or the shelter of the process of hearing. It's very important. Because hearing, Navda Bhakti starts with hearing. And if you have heard well, then we'll chant also well. And well begun is half done. So hearing is most important. Hearing means like we are putting the sound through the funnel of our ear into our heart, and it purifies. Ear is a door to the heart. So it's very important what we are hearing, how we are hearing. Okay. So let us try to analyze let us try to understand the proper attitude of hearing from the example of Parikshit Maharaj. So we'll go back 119, I think it starts with 11932. First canto, you don't have, must be in your computers. 11932 to 38. Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions. So each question, each and every verse is revealing his wonderful attitude. Okay? You are there? 11932? Okay. Parikshit uvacha aho adyam vayam brahman satsevya kshatra bandhava कृपयातिथि रूपेण भवद्भिः तीर्थकात् कृता. Please read the translation.
The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahman, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but worthy royalty, have become eligible to serve the devotee.
Yeah. So first, qualification we see Parikshit Maharaj's humility, So he's saying himself Kshatra Bandhava, I'm not even qualified as a Kshatriya, because Kshatriyas are supposed to provide protection to the Brahmanas. And he had offended a Brahmana. So he says, I'm Kshatra Bandhava. Although he had offended Kshamik Rishi, it was all by the plan of Krishna, because Krishna wanted him to become an instrument for revealing Srimad Bhagavatam. And as soon as he stepped out of the hut of Shamik Rishi, he could realize his mistake. Before receiving the curse of Shringi, Parikshit Maharaj had cursed himself. That let the severest of the calamity may fall upon me immediately. Let everything of me be ruined. He himself cursed himself. So he was not Kshatra Bandhava, but because he had offended Kshamik Rishi, he said, I am Kshatra Bandhava, and you have come here, Oh aho adya vayam brahman sat sevaya kripya atithi rupena. It's the greatest mercy that you are here as our guest, and I am an unworthy royalty, being uneligible to serve the devotee. Okay. So next he says, Yesham sansmaranat punsam. Next verse. Sadhya shuddhyanti vaigraha kim puna darshana sparsha pada shochana adibhi. Yes, please. Translation.
Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home.
Yeah. So this is the kind of respect a disciple should have is for his guru. He should have complete confidence. Just by remembering you, our house becomes sanctified. Then what to talk of touching you, seeing you, washing your holy feet? Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, even the one particle from the dust of my spiritual master is sufficient to deliver the entire universe. That much faith he had. So that much faith Parikshit Maharaj is having in Shukdev Goswami. Okay. And in the previous verse he is calling himself as Kshatra Bandhava. It's not that he is a Kshatra Bandhu. He is also a very elevated devotee. He is not an ordinary person. Very, very elevated devotee. The birth of both Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj are extraordinary. We all know how Shukdev Goswami appeared. He has to be assured personally by the Lord, Maya will not touch you. Still, as soon as he came out from the womb of his mother, he started running towards the forest without any sanskara, anything. He didn't want to take any chance. Though the Lord had personally assured him, the Maya will not touch you, he said, no taking chance. I just go. And how the Parikshit Maharaj took birth, it's also very glorious. Ashwathama had released 6 Brahmastra. 5 Brahmastra for killing the Pandavas and the 6th one for the Parikshit in the womb of his mother. And Krishna immediately released the Sudarshan Chakra. With that Sudarshan Chakra, Krishna nullified the 5 Brahmastra which were meant to kill the Pandavas. But for protecting Parikshit Maharaj, Krishna himself took a very special form and entered into the womb of Uttara. It was not the super soul. It was Krishna himself holding a conch shell with 4-handed form, and he nullified the effect of Sudarshan Chakra. So by this we can understand how much dear Parikshit Maharaj is to Krishna. But still he is considering himself as Kshatra Bandhava. And he is glorifying Shukdev Goswami. See, the transmission of knowledge from guru to disciple, from the speaker to the audience will happen. It will be effective to the degree the Shrota or the hearer considers himself in a very, very low position. You know, like in physics, we see the current is proportional to the potential difference. If you remember something of physics, what is that? V is equal to IR. You know? And if there is a resistance, high resistance, low current. So if a hearer is considering himself as the lowest of the lowest and considering the speaker as the highest of the highest, more the voltage difference, more effective will the transmission of knowledge. If the hearer is thinking, okay, speaker is also distinguished, but I am also not less distinguished. So less voltage difference, less transmission of knowledge. And high potential difference, high transmission of knowledge. And it's not that Parikshit Maharaj is artificially saying that. He's flattering Sukadeva Goswami like this. No, it's not just a verbal thing. From his heart he's considering like this. I am the lowest, I am not even a Kshatriya. And still you have come to grace this occasion. It's a big mercy, topmost mercy I have received. So that way, this is the proper attitude. Tat vidhi pranipatena. It is pranipatena. You know, considering myself as the lowest, and then I'll be desperate to receive the message which is coming out from a bona fide speaker. You know, most of the time we must have realized when we are new, this potential difference is high. We are totally new. Whatever the speaker is saying, it's a news for us. Oh, acha, there's a difference between humans and animals also. Oh, there's a difference between a dead body and a living body also. Just remember our beginning days. We still remember the beginning days lectures. You know, they are permanently stamped in our heart. This example I heard, it changed my life. But after some time, when we start preaching, when we also remember some verses and we also have some status, and then I sit in the class, then I'm in different kind of mental attitude. ठीक है, अच्छा बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है, इसको ऐसे भी बोल सकते थे, इतना ठीक नहीं बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है, nice try. So we have this kind of attitude. We start judging. We are not in a receiving mode. I need this. So that's why we'll see after a few years, the hearing switch stops. Because there's no potential difference. In fact, there's a negative potential. Sometimes the hearer may think I'm superior to the speaker. So that way, when the hearing stops, the transformation of heart stops. So it's very difficult. When we are progressing in spiritual life, the more we are eager to hear, it's an indication of our humility also, and it's an indication of our advancement in spiritual life also. If I'm really I'm getting senior, that means my eagerness to hear should increase day by day. But unfortunately, due to the influence of our modes of nature, when I'm becoming senior, my eagerness for hearing is getting down. So Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us. He is not an ordinary person. He's not an ordinary person. Vishnu Rat, one who is personally protected by Krishna, and he is considering himself as the lowest of the lowest. And Sukadeva Goswami is just 16-year-old boy. But he is saying, no. Just by remembering you, our houses became immediately sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your feet, and offering you a seat in our home. So when Sukadeva Goswami arrived, everyone got up from their seats and they offered him a seat. And Parikshit Maharaj sat near him. Okay, the next verse. Sanidhyate te mahayogin patakani mahanti api sadyo nashyanti vaipunsam Vishnu eva suretara. Translation, please.
Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so all the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystery.
So he is considering himself as the biggest sinner, that I have offended a Brahmana, but by your presence, all the sins are immediately vanquished. And just as atheist cannot remain in the presence of personality of Godhead. So that much faith he had in Shukadeva Goswami. Okay. Next, 35th. Api me Bhagavan Prita Krishna Pandu Sutta Priya Petrashvasya Prati Artham Tad Gotra Syata Bandhava.
Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the son of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousin brothers.
Yeah, this is his humility. He is not thinking, okay, I am such a qualified person. Just for seeing my departure, all the great sages from different parts of the universe have come, and you have also come. Okay, so I'm such a great person, Just to see how I leave my body, so I'm so special. See, in our birthday, if some senior devotee comes and wishes, oh, we feel, yes, I have some status. No, immediately we'll click a photo, put in our Facebook and status, yes, I was this person. So Shukadeva Goswami is also here, Vyasdev was also there, Narad Muni was also there, Maitri were there, all big rishis were there. It was a big festival, so because I was about to leave my body. No. He said, all you have come, why? Krishna has sent you. And why Krishna has sent you? Because my ancestors, my forefathers, the Pandus were very, very dear to you. So it is the mercy of Krishna. It is by their mercy of my ancestors and their love for Krishna, that's why you have appeared here. I have no qualification. Because in this most critical hour, you have come here to bestow your mercy. So it's a very, very special mercy. I don't deserve it. And Srila Prabhupada says, this is the real pride we all should have. This is not the false pride. The real pride is to have pride in our ancestors, in our Guru Parampara. Our Guru Parampara is so great. We should be proud of that. We should not be proud of our qualifications, but we should be proud that I am in such Guru Parampara. My father, my grandfather, my forefathers, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur, Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I am from such family. So we should be proud of that. So whatever mercy I am receiving, because of it's their qualification, it's not my qualification. Okay. And it says, I am Gotrasya Bandhava. Like I am Gotrasya Bandhava, like Shatra Bandhava. That means I am not a qualified person to increase the glories of my dynasty. I am Gotra Bandhava. I didn't bring any glories to my Gotra. But in fact, we know that when Sonakadi Rishi asked about the birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj to Sud Goswami, the Sud Goswami described Parikshit Maharaj as Pandu Man Vardhanam. He increased the glories of his ancestors, Pandavas. Okay. So next 36th verse. Anyatha te avyaktagater darshanamna katha nirnam nitram riyamananam sansidasya vaniyasa. Yes, Prabhu, please.
Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death?
Yeah, how can you come? It's not possible. You are a, avyakta linga. No one knows in which direction will you go. And you have come here. All of a sudden you have come here. There is no other reason except that you have been inspired by Krishna to come over here. And normally for how long you stay? Milking the cow. The milk cow dohana. It's a kind of use as a unit of time. How much time? How the time it takes to milk a cow. Normally when we say, okay, how much time will it take, Prabhuji, from going from guest house to the temple hall? Half round, Distance is half round or one round. So devotees will talk in terms of the how many rounds. So that way in the village, how much time? Just for milking the cow. That much time you used to stay there. And now you are here. All of a sudden you have appeared. There can be no other reason except by the mercy of Krishna. And why Krishna is bestowing this mercy? Because I am coming in the line of all the Pandavas. Okay? Because they were so dear to Krishna. Now someone may say, Parikshit Maharaj has to be humble because now he has been cornered. He has no other choice. Within 7 days, he is going to leave his body. Now he has to be humble. So the calamities make us humble. And His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj says, humility comes from humiliation. So Parikshit Maharaj has been thoroughly humiliated by a Brahman child. 10-year-old child has humiliated that, this Samrat, what is that called? Chakravarti Samrat. He has been humbled by one Brahman boy. So he is thoroughly humiliated. Now he has no choice but to be humble. No, it was not like that. Right from the beginning he was humble. It is mentioned in the previous chapters. And Parikshit Maharaj used to tour his state incognito, and he used to observe his citizens, and he used to observe that the citizens are glorifying the Pandavas, and the Pandavas loving dealings with Krishna. And how he used to feel? He used to feel very ecstatic. Hearing the glories of the Pandavas, he used to feel very ecstatic. He never used to feel, they are my citizens, they should glorify me. No, but they are glorifying my forefathers. He never felt that means I am something inferior. No, he was very happy. Okay. But you see, we see in Ramayana, Mantashrat Maharaj thought of making Ram as the king. He called all his ministers, and then he declared that, okay, I'm thinking of making Ram as the king. So all the ministers were very happy, very nice, very good. Yeah, we are looking for this moment. So Vishwanath started thinking, they were just waiting for my announcement. They were just waiting that I should retire immediately. So he felt very bad inside. What is wrong with me? They didn't want me. So they just jumped on this announcement. Oh, Ram is coming as a king. No one said you should stay for some days. But Parikshit Maharaj never felt like that. Okay, they are my citizens, but when they are glorifying my forefathers, Parikshit Maharaj felt very, very happy. Okay, it is not that circumstantial humility. It is not circumstantial humility. It was constitutional humility. Like Rup Goswami describes Man Shunyata as one of the 9 symptoms of Bhava Bhakti. Okay, it was natural for Parikshit Maharaj to be humble because he had a love for Krishna. So he was naturally humble, initially also and in this critical moment also, right? Okay. So normally you are avyakt darshana, avyakt gate. No one can understand your movements, and still you are here. Okay. Next, 37. Atah prichhami sansiddhim yogi nam paramam gurum urasyeha yatkaryam mriyamanasya sarvatha. Yeah.
You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons and especially for one who is about to die.
Yeah. This is that. Yat shotavyam atho japyam yat kartavyam nibhi prabho smaratavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam. Please.
Translation. Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me.
It's a very important question. What a man should chant, hear, and remember, and what he should not do, and especially a person who is about to die. Now, just imagine a situation. Parikshit Maharaj in such a critical situation, If a person of this world comes to know that he has a cancer last stage and he has only 7 days to live, what will be his question? Okay, even if he has accepted, I have to go, what will he be asking? If he meets his spiritual master, a saintly person, what will he ask? Huh? Okay, that also he has accepted. He is at a very high stage. He's not increasing, he's not asking to increase my lifespan. He's not even questioning why I have been put in such condition. He has accepted all this. Then what else? Higher stage question. What should I do? He will at the most ask about himself. This situation is tailor-made for me. I'm about to die in 7 days. So please, Guru Maharaj, tell me what should I do in 7 days. He'll just ask about himself. Just see Parikshit Maharaj. He's not asking about himself. He's asking about the humanity at large. Even at this critical hour, he's thinking of giving benefit to others. Lok hitam. He's thinking how I can serve the other people. Even at this critical hour, he is not self-absorbed. We get little fever, we become self-absorbed. What will happen to me? What should I do? What should I eat? What should I not eat? We become so self-absorbed. And even this critical hour, he is about to leave his body, he is not self-absorbed. He is asking what a person in general should do. And especially a person who is about to die, not me, any person. How much broad-mindedness is there? Not concerned about himself, even at this hour. He's thinking about everyone. These are symptoms of a great devotee. They are not self-absorbed. In fact, they are totally self-forgetful. Like in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, first chapter, first canto, 4th verse, when all the sages, Sonakadi Rishi, they are requesting Sud Goswami, that we have been performing yoga for thousands of years, we are not getting any results, so please tell us something. So then that purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining, who can be an acharya? 3 qualifications. Anyone remembers? Prabhupada first saying that acharya is one who thinks about others. He is not thinking about himself only. Normally people think about their own problems also. But a devotee or an acharya will think, when he is concerned about others. How to provide relief, how to provide real happiness to others. Number 1. Number 2, even if one is concerned about others' distress, they are not aware of the solution. What is the solution? Anyone say, bahut bura hua unka sath hua. Anyone can sympathize. But what is the solution for their problems? No one knows. So in our acharyas, not only they are concerned about others' problems, they also understand the solution. Someone may understand others' distress also, and someone may know what is the solution for such distress, but how to implement that solution. But acharya is one who is ready to take all kind of pains to implement that solution. Tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayashe jana. He is a sadhu. To relieve others of their distress, he is ready to undergo a lot of distress. That is an acharya. So that way, a devotee is never self-absorbed. He is always thinking about others. Even in this critical junction, he is not bothered about himself. How should I leave my body? What should I do? He is asking a very general question. What a person should hear, chant and remember, and what he should not do. What is the duty of a person in general, and especially for a person who is about to give up his body. So we can see in our present day acharyas also, His Holiness Jayaprada Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, even in such physical conditions, they are not self-absorbed. Srila Prabhupada, not self-absorbed. We remember that anecdote. Prabhupada is asking the doctor, how are you? So doctor started crying, and recently someone sent me an anecdote. Srinath ji, we know Srinath ji. So he was anti-Desai. So he used to go to Chaitanya mission. And the Prabhupada, when he used to visit Bombay, he used to visit their home. And he was an impersonator. He used to do a lot of arguments with Prabhupada. And the Prabhupada once, came from Rishikesh, I think he came from London. It was, I think, October 77 or September 77. Prabhupada was in Bombay, and then Prabhupada decided, no, I want to leave my body. So Prabhupada called Giriraj Maharaj, I want to go to Vrindavan, and I want to leave my body. So all the devotees started crying. So they booked a train from Bombay to Mathura. And Giriraj Maharaj, early in the morning, around 4:30, he called N.D. Desai. And he says, we have to take Prabhupada to railway station, and Prabhupada wants to go to Vrindavan, and Prabhupada wants to leave his body. Crying, he called on the phone. Now N.D. Desai, Prabhupada is saying, I never realized what it means to leave my body. Prabhupada wants to leave the body. Normally we heard the news, he left his body, but Prabhupada wants to leave his body. He could not understand, what is this? Prabhupada wants to leave his body. But the devotees are crying, and say, please bring your car, because his car was very big, where they can put the Prabhupada can lie down on the back seat. So he took his big car. So in the big car, he was driving, and in the front seat was sitting Brahmanand Maharaj, very big-bodied, Giriraj Maharaj, and Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And the back seat was Prabhupada was lying, and along with his servant Umapati was there. So start the car. So the train was at around 11 o'clock, and they started the car. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj instructed N.D. Desai, hey, drive very slowly. Prabhupada is lying. There should not be any discomfort to Prabhupada. He started driving slowly. Prabhupada told Umapati, tell him to drive very fast. So he started driving fast. Tamal Krishna, why driving fast? Slow. He again slowed down. Again Prabhupada told Umapati, ask him to drive fast. And drive fast. He again started fast. So Tamal Krishna was very perplexed. Why are you driving fast? He said, Prabhupada has told me, now I'll drive fast. So he drove fast. So they reached the railway station. Now they had to get a wheelchair. So when they went for the wheelchair, and they decided, Srinath Prabhu just asked station master, what time is the train? 11 o'clock now? Only which time? I think it was Golden Mail or something. He said, didn't you read the newspaper? What newspaper? This train has been preponed. Now it will leave at 10:30. And they watched the clock. It was only 5 minutes left. Then he realized why Prabhupada was pressing me to drive fast. Immediately they rushed. He requested station master, no, we have big Swami. He wants to leave his body in Vrindavan. So please hold on. He said, Swami want to leave the body? What does it mean? No, please hold on. We are just bringing the wheelchair. So they brought the wheelchair. They just rushed to the spot, and they put Prabhupada in first class compartment. And when they put Prabhupada in first class compartment, Prabhupada called N.D. Desai. Prabhupada was not even able to speak. And Prabhupada said with lot of efforts, thank you, to N.D. Desai. So he started crying. Even at this stage, Prabhupada is thinking about me. He's in so much of pain. He's calling me personally and saying, thank you. So with big tears, when the train left, he came back. And when he came back, on his driving seat, he saw Prabhupada's garland. Prabhupada left his garland also for his blessings. There, even in this situation, Prabhupada was thinking about him, how to bless him. And so that day only, I became devotee, And when I left, I held Prabhupada's lotus feet, and I cried I really cried a lot. And all my impersonalism was gone, Even in this state, Prabhupada is calling me, thank you. But when I came back, I saw Prabhupada is so personal that he left my garland as a prasad, his garland as a prasad. So the point is, why am I discussing this? Self-absorption, yeah. The great souls are never self-absorbed. Even at their critical juncture, even if they are feeling so much of discomfort at their bodily or mental level, they are thinking of giving benefit to others. Japataka Maharaj's favorite statement, he said, I have so many diseases, but my biggest disease is when I see a new person, I can't stop myself from preaching. He can't. Similarly, once I was traveling with His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj. So, right from the morning, 4 o'clock till 11, it was the month of December. So hectic, so many lectures from one place to other place, So, and when we are coming back, Maharaj himself was doing like this, So I was just sitting behind, and with me was his assistant. First I thought I should press his head, but said I'm not an expert. So I told his assistant, you please, Maharaj is not feeling some headache. So he started doing like this. After 1 minute, I said, no, stop. But why, Maharaj? It's okay. No. Rukmini Krishna is sitting behind. He must be feeling uncomfortable. You are coming like that. I said, no. I said, no, Maharaj, nothing. I'm okay. No problem. So these are the qualities of great souls. There are no self-absorption. So we can have this living example. So if we practice Krishna consciousness in a proper mood, so we can also get to this stage. Otherwise, I was thinking, with small things, small disturbance on our bodily level or the mental platform, if someone has not spoken nicely with me, said Hare Krishna to me nicely, I feel so much of disturbed because I'm so self-absorbed. If there's some discomfort on the bodily platform, I get so much of disturbed. I keep on thinking about myself, But the great souls, even at this critical juncture, Parikshit Maharaj is thinking about how to benefit everyone. What is the duty of a person in general, and especially for a person who is about to give up his body. So from here we can understand the attitude of hearing. Parikshit Maharaj. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. He received the speaker very nicely, served him, and paripatena, surrendered unto him, realized his elevated position, my own situation, that I am in such a, I'm a very unqualified person. And then he asked the questions. So, but that's why these questions are so important. So when Sukdev Goswami is glorifying both his questions also and his attitude also. And Sukdev Goswami is also thinking such a nice questions. Varinyesha te prashna. These questions are most glorious. These are best of the questions. Why they are best of the questions? Krito loka hitam nripa. Because they are for the benefit of everyone. Atmavit sammatah punsam shota vedashi japaraha. It's not my opinion that you have flattered me. Oh, I'm so happy you have what a question. Because you have flattered me, you have praised me. No. Atmavit sammata. All the Atmavit person, Tattvit person, they will agree with me. This is the best question. Okay. So to ask question is the nature of a sadhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami. Asking question is the svabhav of a sadhu. Why he asks questions? Why a saintly person asks question? Benefit of others also, and so? He can relish it more by hearing. Yeah, he can relish more by hearing and to increase his determination. Sometimes we see a devotee, whoever may be the speaker, the devotee has the same question. Also, in your temple also you must have seen that. Whoever Maharaj comes, or senior devotee comes, after Bhagavatam, any question, he'll put this his hand. Same question he will ask. Once I was hearing His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj lecture. So, Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, he has a question. Okay, Maharaj, if I am a householder, if I have this idea, then let me work hard now, earn more money. Then after 10 years I retire. I have a lot of money. Then I can join full-time devotional service. So Maharaj laughed. You have been asking me the same question in different. Okay, same question again and again. So this is the nature of a sadhu. Why he asks the same question again and again to the same speaker or different speakers? To get more determination, to have clarity of the subject matter, so that he's more determined, he's more convinced. Okay, and also for the benefit of others. Okay, and we should not hesitate to ask questions. Srila Prabhupada says, when you're going to meet your spiritual master, if you don't have any question, there is no point in approaching the spiritual master. The interaction between a disciple and spiritual master is through question and answer. We should question. We should have questions when we go to spiritual master. Once a disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, besides you, how many pure devotees must be there? So Prabhupada was surprised by the question. Besides me, how many pure devotees? And Prabhupada was saying, what rascal, what kind of question is this? If you want to board a plane, how you are bothered how many passengers are there? You just board the plane. Now, how it concerns you how many pure devotees are there? You just follow the process. So, I mean, we should ask questions which are relevant. No? Like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He had the habit of asking questions. After every class of Srila Prabhupada, he used to ask questions. So once he asked a question about Srimati Radharani. So Prabhupada chastised me. What do you have to do with Radharani? Prabhupada didn't answer. So he said, okay. So in those days, the devotee used to work outside and maintain the temple. So Jayapataka Swami Maharaj used to work in a coffee house. So he missed the evening class. But he used to listen to the tape. So Maharaj is saying in the memories, I missed the evening class, but I was listening the tape. And in the tape, after Prabhupada gave the Bhagavata class, he asked, where is that J? He used to ask nice questions. So Maharaj I felt so happy that Prabhupada remembered me that I always used to ask the questions. So we should have this habit of asking questions, relevant questions. And these questions benefit everyone. Me also, speaker also, and other devotees also. Right? So that's why Shukdev Goswami is glorifying. Variya nishate prashna krito lokhitam nipa atmi samata punsam shrotavyashu yapara. Okay. Now we can see Prabhupada is writing very nice purport. You can see the first line of the purport. Someone can read the first paragraph.
Even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. Because Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Person and questions about Him is original and perfect. Any question about Him is original and perfect. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. Because question and answers about Krishna elevate one to that transcendental position, the questions of Maharaj Parikshit about Krishna philosophy are greatly glorified.
So even remembering the questions is beneficial for us. Vishnu Thakur is saying, even the questions asked by devotees should be heard, chanted and remembered. No need of remembering the answer also. Just remember the questions. In our normal material life, if I just repeat, Prabhu, आपने maths का paper दिया, क्या questions आए थे? I just repeat the questions, I won't get any number. But in the spiritual life, if you just remember the questions also, if you chant and hear and remember the questions, we can go back to Godhead. Because those questions are about Krishna. Spiritual life, devotional service is absolute. Answer and question, they both are beneficiary. So questions also have this much of potency that they can take us back to Godhead. Just by remembering Sanatana Goswami's question, Ke Ami, that's all. Who am I? Even remembering this question, we can go back to Godhead. It is so auspicious. Okay? Right. So second. Shotravyad Prabhuji. Three qualities of Acharya that Parikshit Maharaj is not self-absorbed. So three qualities of Acharya which show they are not self-absorbed. First is they are concerned about others' distress. Number two, they also know about the solution. And third, they are ready to undergo distress themselves to implement those solutions for others.
Another question, Prabhuji. So many times I have heard this Dvija Bandhu. Here we have read Shatra Bandhava. So in the word to word meaning, it comes friend, as a friend of Brahmana, as a friend of Kshatriya. But we take meaning as offender. He is not acting as a Brahmana level, not acting as a Kshatriya. So how to understand this Kshatra Bandhava, Dvija Bandhu?
Yeah, he is not a Brahman, but a friend of a Brahman. So he doesn't have the quality of a, although he was born in a Brahman family, but is not exhibiting the qualities of a Brahman. So at the most we can call him Brahmabandhu. We are being very decent with him. It's a kind of a gali. एक गाली है लेकिन बड़ी डिसेंट गाली है कि तू ब्राह्मण भी नहीं है, ये नहीं बोला ब्राह्मण बंधु है, ठीक है. You don't have qualities of Brahman, but you are born in Brahman family, so we call you Brahma Bandhu. You appear as a Brahman because you are roaming around with a Brahman. You are born in a Brahman family, but you don't have qualities of a Brahman.
Thank you.
So it's a very decent way of calling him. Okay. Second question. Yeah. Shrotravyadini Rajendra Nidam Santim Sahasrasha Apashyatam Attatvam Graheshu Grahamedhinam. Please.
Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of absolute ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor.
So, Shukdev Goswami is starting to answer the second part of the question. What was the second part of the question? What must not hear, chant and remember? First part of the question, what one must hear, chant and remember, and what one must not hear, chant and remember. So he is starting with what one must not hear, chant and remember. He says, those who do not know the goal of life, for them there are thousands of subject matters for hearing and chanting. Shrotavya Adi, Shrotavya Adini Rajendra Nirnam Santim Sastrasha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Graheshu Grahamedhinam. Apashyatam Atmatattvam. Okay. Those who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society. That means those persons who are not aware of their goal of life have many subject matters. Or by focusing on the many subject matters, we lose focus of our ultimate real subject matter. No? Even we as a sadhaka, if we get absorbed in less important things, we hear the things of this material world, we absorb ourselves in prajalpas, too much of social media, then we lose track of our real focus, real goal of life. So those who know the ultimate aim of their life, they have only one subject matter for hearing. But those who are not so convinced about real goal of life, they have thousands of subject matters for hearing. Okay. Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Shukdev Goswami is glorifying. He's saying that your question is glorious, but the answer is the prime subject for hearing.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada is saying even the question is. So how is that?
Yeah. So our Acharya Vishnu Chakravarti is also glorifying the question because he says he's glorifying Varyanisha te prashna. Prashna itself is, question itself is glorious. Your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. So when there is a question, there is an answer also, chanting, hearing, both. If the question is there, answer will be relevant answer only. So both of them are beneficial for everyone. But the question is so glorious, just by remembering and chanting and hearing the question itself is purifying us because it is concerning Krishna. Not understood. He says, because he is asking what is beneficial for a person in general and what is beneficial for a person, especially a person who is about to give up his body. What should he hear? What should he chant? What should he remember? Okay. So although Parikshit Maharaj had already decided before the arrival of Shukdev Goswami, to all those assembled sages, Parikshit Maharaj has declared that I have taken this decision to fast until death and I want all of you to start Krishna Katha. And when Sukadeva Goswami arrived, he just wanted to confirm it. And that's why he was asking this. So he's indicating towards Krishna Katha only. I should hear, I just want your confirmation. So in that way, your questions are glorious. So in a way, this question, the answer is one should hear and chant about Krishna only. So that's why it's just by remembering and hearing these questions are also beneficial for everyone. That like when Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Ke ame? Why these threefold miseries are disturbing me?" So Mahaprabhu says, "You know everything, but still it is the nature of a sadhu to inquire." And this question is beneficial for everyone. And why it is beneficial? Because it triggered off such Sanatana Shiksha. Questions by Arjuna, you have taken me and you have taken many births. I do not remember, how do you remember? It gave Krishna a chance to speak about Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. So his question is beneficial for everyone. So remembering this question also will purify us. That because it is related with Krishna. In that sense.
And Prabhuji, you said that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj asks few questions to Srila Prabhupada every now and then.
Yeah.
So Prabhupada said, you said that it should not be irrelevant. So unless the hearer, he feels that it is relevant, why he will ask the question?
Yeah, he'll ask, okay. So we should be ready to get chastisement also sometime. We should be ready to get chastisement. So we should not mind if the speaker chastises us, no problem. So out of ignorance may ask questions, but next day when he heard Prabhupada searching for him, he felt so good. You know. You can switch on the AC, Prabhu, I think. It must be discomfortable for everyone.
And one more question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, your glorious questions. Yes, Prabhu.
I missed it.
You forgot. Okay.
So many times we see in Bhagavad Gita, when we are into preaching, when we are in preaching, some people come ask some relevant, irrelevant, sometimes to just check whether we know it or not. So improper mood.
Yeah.
They consider that this is the proper method to learn knowledge by asking questions.
Yeah.
Even preachers also sometimes they get into that mood so that he can become more inquisitive, he can think about the subject matter. But we see humble hearing is a process for acquiring knowledge.
Yes.
So many times it goes contradictory each other.
Yeah, you're right. You see, when we are going for the first time, we're going to some college, and we say, does God really exist? So we may get very challenging questions. So at that time, I cannot tell them, Tadvadi Pranipatena, Paripashna. I cannot tell them. So I had to accept their challenging mode. Prabhupada also used to face such challenges. Neck, tie, he had no answer. He just sat down. So then Prabhupada said it is for purification. So when someone asks in the challenging mode, because Prabhupada had the age, Prabhupada had the experience, he also could reply in that mode. Sometimes when we go, people may not accept as an authority and people may challenge us. At that time, we have to accept that challenge. And then we have to kind of defeat them with our superior knowledge, with logic. We give them logic, and we prove them, we show them scientific evidences how God exists. Then they are impressed. This sadhu knows so much about science also. So we have to show our opulence. At that time, showing our opulence is a part of humility. We have to show our opulence, and they are impressed. These sadhus can speak in English also. They are so much updated about the latest development and everything. And then they become humble. And then we tell them the proper way of asking question is in a proper mode. Later in sections we tell them. But in the first session itself, sometimes we may tell also, sometimes we may not tell, depending on the crowd.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
what is beneficial for common people in general, and especially those who are about to die. So did he know that it is going to get recorded in Bhagavatam? Because these questions, unless being published, what is the use of asking these questions? How it is going to benefit the public?
Yeah, very important. Yeah, because he knew that something is somehow it's Krishna's plan, that I have offended a Brahman and so many great sages have assembled. Certainly, whatever I ask, it's not that it will be recorded or not recorded. He was not aware of this, but he knew the qualifications of Shukdev Goswami. He is the son of Vyasdev, and he knows the truth. So I'm asking him. So it will be so many sages are there, and of all classes of sages were there. Some were impersonalists, some were yogis, some were devotees. So for everyone, what is the beneficial for everyone? So he thought it is a proper opportunity. All the great sages are there, leaders are there. In this assemblies, this question is discussed. Later on, because they are the leaders, they will also propagate this knowledge. So that way. Okay. Yeah. You have a question? Yeah.
Prabhuji, you discussed this compassion of Parikshit Maharaj, where he told that he was not self-absorbed. And then we saw examples of Prabhupada, Maharaj, Jai Goswami Maharaj. So, in my life, if I am I'm at the stage of self-absorption. So to come out of it, to come at this stage, like what steps should be taken?
Yes, let's discuss how to come out of self-absorption. So I was also thinking about this. So what I thought is that if we follow the process of sadhana bhakti nicely, following the instructions of Guru, so after first only the acharyas will be evolved. Okay. Only a Nitya Siddha can be an acharya right from the beginning. But if we are conditioned souls and if we are practicing under the bona fide spiritual master, following their instructions sincerely, so by their mercy, we can also reach to that position. So what we have to do is, we have to just follow in their footsteps. Try to follow in their footsteps as sincerely as possible. So, we evolve. It's a process of evolution.
Prabhuji, one more question. About humility, you told that since Parikshit Maharaj had love for Krishna, that was he has his humility. He told that I'm a relative of Pandavas, and even the citizens were glorifying Pandavas, he was happy. So, what is the correlation between humility and love?
Humility and love, what is the correlation?
Love of Krishna is equal to humility.
Yeah. So, in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Narada Muni says that humility is love only, and love is humility. And he says, the fruit of the love is humility, and the root of the love is also humility. Fruit also, if we have love for Krishna, we will be humble. And if we don't practice humility, we won't get love of Krishna. So it is root also, it is fruit also. So humility right from the beginning, we should cultivate humility with our body, with our mind, with our thoughts. Only then we can be saved from offenses. If you are not in the mood of cultivating humility, we are bound to commit offense. No one can stop us from committing offense. We'll be committing offenses if we are not cultivating humility. Then what to talk of getting prem? So, and if we get prem, then it's a natural humility. Man Shunyata is one of the symptoms of bhava bhakti. So naturally, because when I'm in the stage of bhav, the chit potency and aladhani potency, they flow through me. So I get rasa, and then I realize my position and the elevated position of Krishna. So then I realize I am nothing, most insignificant. As true humility comes. Okay. So second verse, Shotavadini Rajendra Niram Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Graheshu Graha Medina. So in this verse, one can, Prabhupada is writing that there are two kind of nomenclatures, Grahastha and Grahameti. Grahastha means he's an ashram, okay, and the center of his life is Krishna and the instructions of Guru. He takes shelter of their instructions. And Grahameti is, he is in the center. Krishna is not in the center. However, in other parts of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Medhi word has been used. The Medhi word is not so in a negative sense. Sometimes the Grahameti word is used to indicate a householder. You know? But when the Grahameti is compared with the Grahastha, then it is an inferior, it has inferior connotations. The Grahameti means he is envious of other householders. He is self-centered. He is selfish. Shotavadini Rajendranam Santi Sahasrasha. So he is not aware of the real goal of life. He is Grahameti. Okay. And Krishna Thakur says the Medhi means, the word Medhi means violence. And in the household life, we cannot escape from committing 5 kinds of violences. You know that, no? With brooming, with all those, with sacrifice, with cooking, with pouring water. We commit 5 kinds of sins, and then to compensate for that, we do Pancha Yagya also. So they are Grahameti. So in a way, every family man is a Grahameti. But Grahastha is superior version because he puts Krishna in the center. So those who are selfish, those who do not know Nate Vidu Swarth Gati Hi Vishnu, for them there are thousands of subject matters. Okay. But for those who are clear about the goal of life, they have only one subject matter. Okay. So the Medhi word can be used as a selfish person, self-centered person. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj in the Sajjan Toshni, he wrote about Math Medhis. Brahmachari ashram also. It's not that Medhi word is applicable for householders. So sometimes Grahameti, I'm Brahmachari, Grahameti. Now we can be Brahmachari Medhi also. Ashram Medhi also. What are the qualifications for Ashram Medhi Brahmachari? Self-centered. A Brahmachari is supposed to be missionary, selfless. We have come here to dedicate our lives to Guru. Guru Hite. So no selfishness, no self-centeredness. Mera kya hoga, apne liye ye kar lun, wo kar lun, ye kar lun. One was too much concerned about his future security, safety, about his physical well-being, mental well-being, about himself only. This service, not this service, is just self-centered. He is a Math Medhi. And the Math Medhi, the moment we are self-centered, will surely be envious. Now, if I am self-centered, why me? Why not me? Why he? Then this kind of comparison will come. But if I am not self-centered, I have come here to dedicate my life. If I see anyone progressing, I'll be very happy because the mission is progressing. But if my goal of life is not to dedicate to the mission, to push on the mission, just self-centeredness, surely I will be envious. So this Medhi word is very, very important. So we should not become Math Medhis. Okay. So Prabhupada in the last line is writing, last paragraph. The process of going back home, back to Godhead is to hear about the Supreme Lord and His name, form, attributes, pastimes, peripherally and variegatedness. Foolish people do not know this. They want to hear something about the name, form, etc. of everything temporary, and they do not know how to utilize the propensity of hearing for the ultimate good. Misguided as they are, they also create some false literatures about the name, form, attributes, etc. of ultimate truth. One should not therefore become a Grahameti simply to exist for envying others one should become a real householder in terms of scriptural injunctions. So one should become a real brahmachari in terms of scriptural injunctions. Or if in a grasta ashram, one should become a real householder in terms of scriptural injunctions. Only then we can be non-envious and we can live this life for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. And then our subject matter of hearing will be only one. So how these envious householders pass their life? Nidrayariyate naktam vyavayencha vavaya jivacharthaya rajan kutung bharane nava. Yes, Prabhuji. Translation.
The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night, either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime, either in making money or maintaining family members.
Yes. So, Nidrayate Rajan Vyavancha Vavaya Divacharthya Rajan Kutum Bharanenava. The whole lifetime is wasted like this only. Sleeping and sex in the night, and the daytime just earning money to maintain family members. This is the goal of their life. Earn money to maintain family members and just sleep for some time, have sex. That is the only enjoyment they have in their lives. Okay. Now, just by hearing this, it looks so dry. In the daytime, slog so much. Go to your workplace, 2.5 hours coming, going, standing in the train, fully packed train, and then at the workplace also get exploited, then come back. Din ki dakni, raat ki bhagni, palak palak lahochu se, Prabhupada used to say. And then whatever you have earned, then have sex, then sleep, then again get up next day. So boring. So how people get inspired to do this day and night, again and again? What inspires them to live such kind of life? It's very dry. Slogging whole day to maintain family. And if you are slogging whole day also, no one is grateful to you. No one is grateful. At the end, we'll come to hear what you have done for me. Nothing. Still we are people are slogging. So what is the motivation? And what is the motivation? It is described in the next verse. Deha patya kalatredishu atma seneshu asatapi tesham pramato nidhanam pashyan api na pashyati. Yes, Prabhu, please.
Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction.
So why a person is feeling inspired to do those activities again and again? Because he has lot of hopes from what are his sources of hope? Deha. This body will protect me. Apta, my children. Kalatra, my wife. So Dehe Apta Kalatra Deshu. They are my Sainik, Atma Seneshu. They will protect me. They will guard me. Asatapi. All they are temporary. Tesham Pramato Nidhanam. And he is seeing them. One by one they are going. Their wickets are getting down. But still, Pashyan Apina Pashyati. He's seeing them getting down and again. My father has gone, my grandfather has gone, everyone is going. But still he has hopes. They will protect me. Atma Seneshu. He doesn't have faith. Rakshasiti Vishwaso. He doesn't have faith in Krishna. The Krishna will protect me. He has faith. There's all these material facilities, this home, this body, these gadgets, this insurance policy, they will protect me. So that's how the people are getting inspiration to slog day and night. Like In the introduction of Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada is writing, for performing any activity, we need some inspiration, some rasa, some juice. So this is material rasa. Okay. So that inspiration is false hope that they will protect me. See, when I am brahmachari life, sometimes a brahmachari may feel insecure. What will happen to me in future? When I was about to join, some seniors in the ashram told me, Prabhu, don't join. So old age will be very tough for you. You are such a good devotee. You are a donor also. You are our donor. You serve devotees. You preach also. Yes, that's such a nice position. Be in that position. Don't come inside. So sometimes devotees, while living in the ashram, also feel insecure. And we feel more secure with the external things. Facilities, position, power. These things will protect me. Followers will protect me. And we see such cases also. We are all insiders, we can discuss. Those devotees who have disciples, who have followers, they are very secure. They can get anything from any time. But those who don't have followers, no one knows them. If they fell sick, they become old. Who will take care? Who will take care? So once this question, this virus comes in our mind, so we perform devotional service along with we have this mentality of accumulating all these things also. कि जीवन तो यहीं बिताना है, बाहर तो जाना नहीं है, तो कुछ संभाल के रखो ना, so that I feel secure. What do you feel? What do you say? It may happen or may not happen. What do you say? समझते नहीं पाऊँ. Yes, right.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Yeah, it can happen, Prabhuji, because frankly speaking, sometimes it comes to mind that since ISKCON doesn't have a formal policy, that ISKCON will stand to it as the devotees goes old. It seems different temples have different leadership and they take care as per their.
Yes.
So then this tendency can.
Yeah. You're right. We don't have a central policy. One who across 40 should get this facility. One was over 50 get this kind of room facility, attached bathroom. One was this. There's no policy. It depends on the leadership, how much compassionate is leadership, how much far-sighted the leadership is. So what should we do?
Generally, we see that whenever such things are there, by both things we can see it. One is by personal. Hare Krishna. From the point of view of organization, like in our ashram also, we have health, some insurances are there like that. Not necessarily that is like we don't have faith in Krishna, that he will take care. But as a organization, as a system that we do for all the devotees. Over and above that, if we are too much concerned about it, then we may land up in trouble. Some concern on material plane that is taken care by some system. Above that, then we have to be like careful crossing that level.
Good inputs. Yep.
Previously, in IISc meetings in Nadhwara, we could hear from Gaurang Prabhu, he was stressing more on this devotee care. So even though here Gruhamedis, they are living hope after hope in the materialistic life. Similarly, devotees also, they are, in one sense, they are also living, Krishna will someday he will give me absorption, hope after hope, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this definitely, because we are in a, many of us here in bodily platform, we require these facilities. Just like even companies outside, they have a policy. They consider their employees as their family members. They build up that community spirit. So there is a lot of discussion and cooperation within ISKCON. So I think when seniors, when they show that love, concern for the juniors, they feel more connected to the Vaishnava community.
Yeah. Any other inputs? Yes.
Surely, Puji, such thoughts may come, as you mentioned that somebody has followers and disciples or counselees. Some may not have. The other person may feel and try to enter into this security zone, future security zone. So, what two things I feel, Puji, that one, Sambandh Gyan, strong, that how whatever happening in my life, that cannot be wrongly given by Krishna. Is part of my purification, is part of my karma. So in whatever situation I'm put in, so the Sambandh Gyan, if we are continuing reading Srila Prabhupada books and situated with Guru Vani, Prabhupada Vani, then it will help. And practically other thing that surely organization, and we have must have seen other examples of devotees who have been taking care. Once we are in such community, so although some may not be have followers and like that, but community has taken care of such devotees who have served selflessly throughout their life. So these examples also inspired us to get rid of such virus. These two things.
Yeah. Actually, in our organization, we have both good examples and bad examples. I have seen, you must have also seen very good examples where the senior devotees are being taken care very nicely. And we have seen some bad examples where we have seen, to our eyes, it appears that they have not taken care very nicely. So both cases we have seen. You want to say something? Yeah.
Once Prabhuji, Brajhar Prabhu was mentioning that, see, these kind of things, especially when accumulating things, and sometimes donations comes which are in form of cash. So such kind of things, handling such kind of things, he is teaching to some devotees, and later he was explaining me. See, if we keep our facilities minimum, whatever we require, just keep with that, and whatever surplus, if you give it out, and whatever Lakshmi comes, deposit in the temple account, whatever you want, claim it. Then that will not lead you brain thinking of what happened me next. The main thing Prabhuji was stressing on this, whatever I require, use that things only. Don't go for much more extension. And second, he said Krishna helps us. He had given his personal examples that his deities, dry fruits were being done, completed. So he was thinking, dry fruits were done, for tomorrow I do not have. Then that very same day, someone came from Saudi. He brought a basket of dry fruits. Twice it had happened. Then he was mentioning, like this, many times it happened. Whenever I fall short or I need something, Krishna is sending. So why should I accumulate, or why should I think of tomorrow's necessities?
Yeah, it's a very valid point. So we can see from our small experiences also like this. Yesterday I think I was with Sardik Prabhu. He's also a proper disciple. He was also sharing that. I forgot my gamcha. He said, small thing. I was thinking where to whom to request. So next day devotee comes with a gift of gamchas only. He was telling that every time Krishna has never cheated me. All times. Krishna has taken such nice care of me, even small things. And I also seen, when we go for alternate plans, Krishna says, okay, I'll fulfill your alternate plans. If you think, let me accumulate money, let me accumulate this, in case of emergency, they will be helpful. Krishna will say, okay, you want emergency to come, you have accumulated so much, I'll send the emergency. You see, in the material world, these days, so many marriages are breaking, And right from the day one, the parents are teaching their daughters, in case of a divorce, you should have a good job and good salary. They prepare this, and it happens also. Because the girls are so highly placed, high earning, the divorce happens. They see, we planned like this. Yes, you planned like this, that's why it happened like this. So if a brahmachari plans like this, in future, no one may take care of me, so I should have money, I should have this, okay, we'll land in that zone. But at the same time, as an authority, we should have a system so that devotees need not be unnecessarily anxious about their future. We should try to relieve their anxiety as much as possible. But we should be completely dependent on the system, the authorized system, which is giving us security. Many brahmacharis leave their ashram. Once this virus comes, what will happen to me in future? It goes and keeps on growing. Then, and then it goes to that zone. No one can protect him. Then he goes for Grastha ashram. But even if one enters family life, what is the guarantee that wife will take care of you, or you will be taking care of wife? Who will fall sick first? No one. No. I mean, if we have children, what is the guarantee the children will be so much loyal to us? No guarantee. There is no guarantee. So sometimes our distresses and our so-called comforts are also predestined. In whatever ashram we are bound to suffer or we are bound to enjoy. So better when we have come here for practicing pure devotional service, we should be trying to follow that. And even if we start accumulating this, the nature of material world is more will accumulate, more will feel insecure. It's not that now I have accumulated enough, now this will give me security. No. We can see from our example, we can see from the examples all around, more we go for such kind of accumulation, atyahar, more followers. If we develop this kind of mentality, we'll always remain insecure. Although we are accumulating these things for my security, these things make me more insecure. So only source of security is ashray, is Krishna. That much conviction we should have. And as an authority, as a manager or leading leaders, we should try to relieve our followers of such unnecessary. This is unnecessary anxiety. Because we are in bodily platform, we are still in the body, so we may get anxious sometimes. Sometimes we may have some bitter experience. I was sick and no one came to even ask me, how are you? So such things really make us down sometimes. It happens with all of us. When we are sick, our mental mind also goes down, and we expect a lot from the devotees. No one came, Prabhuji. I have spent 10 years, 15 years in this ashram. No one came. And then if I would have been in my home or something, these new devotees whom I preached, they were supplying me fruits and everything. No one came from Brahmacharya ashram to ask me. Sometimes we may get this kind of experience. I say, they are helping me now. So, but we should see that even this help is being sent by Krishna. Even if the help is coming in such form, they are being inspired by Krishna from within. So we should try to increase our dependence on Krishna. But at the same time, if you're in such position, so we should try to form policies and such things so that devotees feel, externally also they feel that we are taken care. Okay, this is my understanding. Any other points or questions on this? Because sometimes I see devotees changing ashram because of this only. Or even if they stay in the ashram, they start, unfortunately, they take to not good practices. They compromise on their consciousness. And once the consciousness is compromised, then, we have lost everything. We have come here to elevate our consciousness, not to compromise on the consciousness. Okay. Should we stop here? 4:30? Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
He is feeling, Parikshit Maharaj is feeling so confident it is Krishna's. It is done by Krishna. Similarly, as Prabhuji was telling, that His Grace Brajahari Prabhu saw, this is done by Krishna. Or Srila Prabhupada's disciple, he saw that Krishna has sent Kamshas. So it happens sometimes, something like that, but then my mind says, oh, it was coincident. Why? How do these devotees have such strong faith? It's done by Krishna.
Nothing is by chance. Nothing is by chance. Krishna is the supreme controller. This we all know. Nothing happens by chance. What is coincidence? Even if it is coincidence, it is designed by Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you mentioned that it is very important to be humble.
Yeah.
We have to develop this practice of humility. But we find many times we find differences with devotees when we come across and something doesn't goes our way. Then naturally the mode of nature disturbs our consciousness, and we often find, yes, we do commit offenses. So how do we actually take to it that we practice? Because although we are trying to practice, we are trying to come out of it. We are trying to forgive the devotee, but we cannot do it simply because of the conditioning which we have so deep. So in this case, what action or step can we do to at least develop such a thing where we also ourselves are peaceful?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sometimes we are put in such conditions which appear to be very hostile to us, and we feel that it's not my fault, but still why people are, being so hostile to me, and people are misunderstanding me, and they are misrepresenting me, misquoting me. So it gives us pain. That's very true. It happens sometimes. So what I learned from my Guru Maharaj, I have been put into, everyone is put into such conditions sometimes or others. So when I used to go to Maharaj, what to do? Literally crying. So I used to say, Moti chamdi ho, Moti chamdi, become thick-skinned. Thick-skinned means don't take these things so seriously. Okay. And Maharaj said, no, don't take things seriously. Just wait for the time. And with time, things improves. Situation improves. So we should take these situations as a kind of our testing. We are being tested. Okay. Last time in such situations, I couldn't perform nicely. Now Krishna is again giving me this chance. It's a kind of an examination for me. So this time I should pass this exam. So if you see life in this way, as a kind of a challenges, it's a way of progressing, So all these elevated devotees, they're very much fixed upon their goal of life. So they're not disturbed. So more we are fixed on the goal of our life, less will be disturbed. Once I went to Maharaj, I said, Maharaj, they really insulted me. So Maharaj immediately replied, so what? Problem solved. So I said, I have been insulted many times. Maharaj said, I have been insulted many times. Don't take it so seriously. So that way, devotees are very nice. They trim our ego. They are making us beautiful by trimming our ego, so that we may appear beautiful in the eyes of Krishna. So take it as a challenge, take it as a test, and not taking so things on their face value. Very easy to say, not so easy to practice, but we have to practice. There's no other way. Otherwise, if we again and again people are behaving like this, again and again we are going into shell or becoming offensive, what's happening to my spiritual life, my Krishna consciousness? So I can say I was going very nice because of this person, because that person. I'm not going back to Godhead. Okay? Stay here then. So it's better, we take up to this practice. That's how Like Shivanand Swami Maharaj writes in his Harina Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, we should think big. Think big doesn't mean big projects. That also thinking big. Thinking big also means thinking big in terms of consciousness. When we hear Parikshit Maharaj performing so much of austerity, so much of tolerance, Parikshit Maharaj can do, I cannot do. No, I should think big. I should also elevate myself to this level, that I can practice humility at this level. Think big. This is thinking big. It's not out of. If I say it is out of my range, then what is the need of practicing Krishna consciousness? So one day I should also come to this stage, and this stage will come by passing these small tests. So that is where sometimes we'll fail in this test, sometimes we'll pass in the test. So no problem. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So Prabhuji, you are comfortable with this mode of teaching, my speed and everything? If any feedback, Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu, please let me know.